Hi everyone, I want to walk you through my remake of Avicii's Feeling Good. First of all, there's a couple of fun facts about this song I want to tell you. So, Feeling Good was originally written back in 1964 by Anthony Newley and Leslie Bricusse for the musical The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd. Since then, it's been covered by tons of artists, as you know, everyone from Michael Bublé to Muse. And Avicii's version came out in 2015 as part of a collaboration with Volvo for their A New Beginning campaign. So the song structure is very basic, goes from intro, verse, chorus, verse 2, chorus, bridge, final verse and chorus. So the song kicks off with what sounds like a synthetic Hammond organ with spring reverb. For my version, I layered a few pads from Massive X and vintage organs from Native Instruments. Then filtered them so there's space for the vocals. These pads also sneak back in later, mainly in the verses, to build tension and open up the sound. Here's where the piano comes in. I split it into two layers because Avicii most likely used multiple pianos with different filters across the track. So piano 1 plays the higher 8-note patterns filtered around 500 Hz, so it really cuts through the mix. Piano 2 plays the wider chords filtered at 140 Hz to leave room for the bass and the synth. I also added some reverse piano effects for the transitions later on. This chorus also introduces the first bass sound, with a filter slowly opening up via automation. And then we got the brass. I combined Spitfire Symphonic Brass, Session Horns Pro and Project Sam muted trumpets. The brass is filtered and gradually opens up at the end of the chorus. Here Avicii adds some cinematic effect like swooshes, low booms and for extra impact. The bass is a classic electric one. I used Prime Bass from Native Instruments. The snare here is a little darker and dampened compared to later. For example, in chorus 2 it gets sharper and the reverb really comes through. In the bridge the snare is short and muted. And then by verse 3 and the final chorus it's at its most powerful. This is where the first synth lead motif shows up, and later on it comes back at the final chorus, but played with a really sharp lead sound. The bridge starts with a bell motif. I used a mix of hybrid keys and mellowed flux for this. As the chords are changing in the second half, the bell sound follows along with the harmony, which creates a nice build-up. Here the strings come in to thicken the arrangement. First they are bright and clear, then they are really immediately filtered down to sound almost like a mellotron. For this I used Cymatics Origin. It's a free plugin, it adds harmonics and basically a vintage vibe. That same filtering also affects the pads we heard earlier in the intro. I also sidechained a massive bass with a ducking effect to the signal of the kick for more punch. Yeah, and that's it. That's the full arrangement of Avicii's Feeling Good. It's full of little details that make the track shine. Things you don't always notice until you break it down. I hope you enjoyed it.
Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good. And I'm dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies